Hey y'all, welcome to another edition of Craig's Public Domain Folk Songs. And this is number 4. This song is Man of Constant Sorrow. And it's done by a man named Richard Burnett around 1913. No, it was not done by George Clooney in 2001. Although most people remember the song from the Brother Where Art Thou movie and the soundtrack. And it was done by the Soggy Bottom Boys, and some mostly Union Station guys. Allison, the guys that back up Alison Krauss. But anyways, we're going to be going back all the way back to the original version. The reason I'm doing these series is, first off, they're public domain, no copyright protection, so I can load them up on YouTube and no problem. And then the other thing is, of course, I love this music, and I like going back to try to recreate the early version as much as we can. In my research for this song, it was a little difficult because there is no audio recording, at least that I found of. There's no audio recording of Richard Burnett from 1913 that I can listen to try to recreate his version. If anybody knows of a version, please message me and let me know. So what I did is, it was, like I said, he wrote it about 1913. He was Richard Burnett was a partially blind fiddle player from Kentucky. His family originally from Ireland, and they immigrated to Kentucky, and he got shot when he was a young man, and partially, I think he lost an eye, so he was partially blind, but he was a pretty successful musician, went with other people. Can read about him sometime, pretty good career. And so the song was covered later on by a guy named Emery Arthur in 1928. And people have found 78 RPM records, and I listened to his version, and the words are pretty much 99% the same. So I'm hoping that the way he played it is very close. It was only 15 years and the second version right after, so hopefully he played, the Emery Arthur played his version as close to the Richard Burnett's version, so I'm going to try to recreate that tonight. Hopefully I'm as close as possible. And you'll notice that the words are going to be very different from the George Clooney Soggy Bottom Where Art Thou version, and I'm going to put them up on the screen right now. We can go over. You'll see it's the first verse, you'll see they're kind of the same, but the theme is the same, but you'll see the words kind of changed. But there are some verses you'll see that got taken out later. But the first verse is, I am a man of constant sorrow. I've seen trouble all my days. I'll bid farewell to old Kentucky, the place where I was born and raised. And that one's stayed the same over the years. This is where it gets very personal, and it's the original and the first version, because remember I told you he was partially blind, and this is how they dated the song too, incidentally, of when it was written, because it tells how many years he's been blind. But anyways, the second verse says, "Oh, 6 long years I've been blind, friends. My pleasures here on earth are done. For in this world I have to ramble, for I have no parents to help me now." And the parents is the original one that got changed to friends in 1928 and stayed friends and wasn't parents for the rest of the evolution of the song. The third verse is, "So fare you well, my own true lover. I fear I never see you again, for I'm bound to ride that northern railroad. Perhaps I'll die upon the train." And that's been a constant through all the evolution, although the words are kind of slightly different. And then the fourth verse is, "Oh, you may bury me in some deep valley, for many a year there I may lay. Oh, when you're dreaming while you're slumbering, while I am sleeping in the clay." That third part, "Oh, when you're dreaming while you're slumbering," that was in the first two versions, but no one would recognize that. That's an early, that got changed by the version we know today. by the way, was done by the Stanley Brothers in 1951. They're the ones who kind of structured it to the one we know of today. And they're the ones who changed "While I Am Sleeping in the Clay" to "While I Am Sleeping in My Grave." But in this one it's clay. And then the fifth verse is, "Oh, fare you well to my native country, the place where I have loved so well. For I have all kinds of trouble in this vain world no tongue can tell." And that got that was in the Stanley Brothers version, but when they did the "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou" version, those guys didn't include that verse for some reason. And then the last verse is, "Dear friends, although I may be a stranger, my face you may never see no more, but there's a promise that is given where we can meet on that beautiful shore." And that's kind of remained a constant through the whole evolution of the song, although Stanley Brothers changed the last part, "on that beautiful shore," to "on God's golden shore," which is the version you remember. But that's the one, this is the one we're going to be doing tonight, the early 1913 version by Richard Burnett. So I'm going to put the chords up right now too, and so you can teach you how to play the song, and you can play along with me and pass this on. And like I said, this is my interpretation as best as I can get of the timing and the strumming and the key and the chords that they that he possibly played it in. Pure conjecture. So, but anyways, it's going to be in the key of D. But we're going to start off with the intro in G. You'll see the intro in front of you is G. Then we'll do 4 phrases and then we'll start. So we go to the D. To the C. I changed the strumming. That's the early kind of 1910 country strum, and I've kind of modernized a little bit, gave it my little interpretation of it, a little freer flowing. So we're going to play it like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. Twice. To the C. To the D. Alright, so just loop that back and forth. Go back to that little video loop and just loop it over and over and practice and get it down. And then when you got it down, let it continue through, and you can play the song along with me. So without further ado, and no more blah blah blah, we will do this is "Man of Constant Sorrow" by Richard Burnett, circa 1913. Of constant sorrow, I've seen trouble all my days. If it to old Kentucky, the place where I was born and raised. Oh, 6 long years I've been blind, friends. now. So fare ye well, my untrue lover. I fear I never see you again. For I'm bound to ride that northern railroad. Perhaps I'll die upon the train. Oh, you may bury me in some deep valley. For many years here I may live. Oh, when you're dreaming, while you're slumbering, while I am sleeping in the place. Oh, fare ye well to my native country, the place where I have loved so well. For I had all kinds of trouble in this vain world, no tongue can tell. Dear friends, although I may be a stranger, my face you may never see no more. But there is a promise that is given, where we can meet on that beautiful shore. There it is. Hope you like it. Man of Constant Sorrow, written by Richard Burnett, written approximately around 1913. And see you next time on our series of public domain folk songs. See ya.